Hi everyone, this is Micaiah Costin with the Athletes section. Today we have a special guest who cheers at the University of Alabama, and I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Toni-Christian Ford, and I'm a freshman at the University of Alabama.
She's also an Alabama native. Before college, she competed with the Ace Warriors for 4 years and cheered for Tuscaloosa County High School. And she's currently studying sports media and journalism, is that right?
Yes.
It's such a really special field to get into, so I'm excited to get into that. Well, we can get started.
Yeah.
So, first off, you're, Alabama, and I am not. I'm the dog. We're like, we're right.
Yeah.
If you guys have not been keeping up with the season of football, college football this year, we had our first loss from Alabama, unfortunately. However, we have been winning since then. By the time this comes out, I don't know what our season's gonna look like, but hopefully we keep up the good work. But yeah, we're longtime rivals, but that doesn't mean we can't talk and have a good chat. So, how did you? I guess I like to go into like people's beginning with their sport, but since this is such like a funny, I don't know, like topic, and it's so like relevant, how does it feel? Well, how did it feel cheering against Georgia?
So Georgia, that's our third night game that we've had. So it was my third game that I've had. So I walk outside and I was like, nobody's here. Like, this is fine. We come back from we took a break or something. I come back outside. It's full. There's no seats empty. It's packed, like all the way up there. I was like, oh my gosh. And then I could watch them warm up and I was like, wait, Georgia, they're pretty big. Like, hold on. I was a little worried. Like, generally, I was worried. And then we playing. We're like knocking y'all out. First, second quarter, just running through. And I was like, oh, I'm not worried. We come back for halftime. I said, wait. I was like, Jalen. I low key act like I'm talking to them on the field. Like I look over there, I'd be like, but like they're not looking at me at all. But like I'm like, come on. But we still won. But still, it was really fun. It was definitely like the stress levels. It went up and down. It was a roller coaster.
I went to my first college watch party because I graduated from UGA earlier this year, and me and my friend went to our first alumni college watch party, and it was that game. And I was like, I was updating her because she was coming in later, and I was just like there for the first half, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! You've got to be kidding me! How are we not scoring? What's going on?" And I think I ended up leaving towards the end of the third quarter, and that's when we started like you said, like started building up momentum. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! How did I leave and all of a sudden we're winning? So I'm like, are we gonna take the win? Is this gonna be our win? And then we didn't, but it's okay. Y'all were definitely a worthy opponent. Oh my gosh, a worthy opponent. And y'all always be, just a really great great rivalry game. I feel like.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, y'all played against Vanderbilt.
So Vanderbilt, I was not cheering because I'm a freshman, so freshmen don't travel. But I did watch it, and it was not fun. Just that's it. It was not fun.
I was so happy. I was like, yes, yes.
That's crazy.
Like this.
I just feel like it wasn't our best game because Vanderbilt has a good quarterback, but they're not that good. I mean, I think we kind of went into it thinking like it's Vanderbilt, we don't have to try as hard, and then just they start picking it up after it was too late.
They were so like excited they beat us, they forgot they had to play today, and then it was like, oh wait, it's Vanderbilt.
Yeah, it was a little,
but it's okay. Y'all will come back at it, Yeah,
we have to, or we're not gonna be in these playoffs.
Conversation. Oh my gosh. So
yeah,
that was exciting. I'm glad we was able to discuss that. I wanted to definitely get into that because like the elephant in the room, literally like we had to discuss it. But I do want to get into you and you cheering. So first of all, it's great that you're cheering at such a high level at the University of Alabama. I think that's so amazing. But first, I want to get into how did cheer start for you? How did you get started with your cheer journey? And what opportunities have you gotten along the way?
So I started cheering when I started gymnastics at the age of 3 to like 6, and then like I'm really tall, so like I'm like 6 foot. So I started getting tall, and I was like, okay, like I don't really want to like hit my foot on the uneven bars or something, and so I switched to dance for like 2 years, stopped dancing, and then I went to cheer. I started doing competitive cheer like 6 years old. Yeah. And after that, I cheered here for like 2 years in Tuscaloosa. And then we moved to Auburn. So I cheered there a few years. And then I started like getting like more higher skills. So then I went to Ace of Birmingham, and then that's when like it started like peaking. Like that's when so at Ace my coach was Brandon, and he was the former Alabama all-girl coach. And so that's how I got like all my technique and skills, and then they just kept progressing, and now from being recruited to like in the cheer world, at first, everybody thinks it's like pom-poms and you're dancing, but now you can get recruited. So I think not just me necessarily, but my age gap was the first gap to actually start the recruiting process, because now like everyone's starting to get recruited. Now at first it was just like you try out, you make it or you don't. Now you can get recruited. They like some people fly you out, some people will take you to dinner. Like I've had people take my whole family dinner, get us a hotel. Like
Wow,
it's
it's
like
like
football actually. It's
serious,
crazy.
serious.
Yeah. And like the only thing I would like recommend is like you gotta tell them like if you're interested or not. For a long time I really wanted to go to Oregon and they were gonna fly me out. And I was like, wait, that's really far. Let me think about that. I didn't want to like just lead them on and they're spending all this money, so I didn't end up going there.
Like you said, there's so many like misconceptions with cheering. Like you think it's just, oh, just pom poms and just be loud,
Yeah.
cheer for the team. They don't know
Yeah.
football. But and I feel like over the
Uh-huh.
years it's gotten a little bit better. I used to do cheer, not I wanted to do competitive,
Mhm.
but I wasn't that flexible. But I used to do cheer, and that was kind of what it was, just me like cheering for the football team, which was cool. But I love watching like documentaries or like reading biographies of people who are like
Mhm.
taking this to the next level, competing, like traveling, and just it's just so amazing
Yeah.
seeing like the world cheer competition. Like all of that is like really neat to watch. So
Mhm.
with the misconceptions that are in cheerleading, is it kind of the same thing? Do people kind of give y'all the same flack, I guess, in college? I know you said it's a little bit different with recruiting, but how is it is it night and day? How is that for you?
In college, I think we get a lot more respect. I still think like some people are like, like, okay, I'm tall. So like when I'm walking around and like this, they're like, oh, what sport do you play? And I'm like, oh, I do cheer. They're
Oh.
like, but if you like are in like the facilities, they have respect for us. Like our athletic director and everybody, like our personal trainers, everybody has respect because they know it's a sport. But like the people that just aren't, they don't know about it. They're
Yeah.
just kind of like, oh, cheer.
How does one get recruited to start cheering in college?
So what I did was my mom actually made me an account. It's called Tumbling Tony on Instagram, and I just had to post like a lot of stunning videos, tumbling videos, and like I wasn't thinking anything of it. Like she would like at first she was running it, and so she would just post a whole bunch of stuff, and they started getting like a lot of views, a lot of shares, a lot of likes, and coaches started seeing it. And then I realized like coaches are looking at it, so I started tagging them, and when I started tagging them, that's how I started
Wow.
getting recruited a lot more. And after that, it just kept going higher and higher. So more than like most of the time, people know me from my Tumbling Tony account. But yeah,
It's getting more notoriety. Like you said, yours like the first class to really start,
yeah.
leveling up to that. So that's really neat. And if there's any cheerleaders watching right now, like there you go. What's your favorite tumbling move? What's the easiest, and then what's your favorite? I
Cartwheel was the
can't do it.
easiest. My favorite is a back handspring and then a full. So a full is like a
Oh
full
wow.
twisting backflip. It's once you get it, it's fine, but you got to
Right.
really
That's
process
pretty
the skill.
cool. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Mhm.
So I saw that you were one of 10 cheerleaders chosen to cheer at the U.S. Army American Bowl, and that was the first time that cheerleaders cheered at
Yeah.
that game. Tell me about that experience, because that
hmm
sounds so cool, and that's such an honor. So congratulations for that.
Yes, thank you. I attended a U.S. Army Navy. Well, actually, no. I attended the Infinity College cheer thing in Nashville, and so you just go and show off. Like it's almost like you're doing the NFL combine almost. So I had to do like a lateral jump. I had to jump like really high. They're seeing how high I can go, like how athletic you are. Then you had to do a tumble pass. You had to do 40 push-ups, which I do not like push-ups. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna pass this. We had to do all types of drills that you normally wouldn't do. And so after that, they chose like the best top 10, whoever they thought like good all around, not just like they can tumble, not just they can stunt, like they can do all the motions. So they named a few. We went to the game and it was amazing. So we're like cheering for like probably NFL players that
Right.
like aren't in the NFL yet. But yeah, it was really cool. A lot of them, like I met a lot of them. It was a good experience. It was really cold, so we got to go in like the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. That's where we cheered, and then we got to be in a few events for that. We also got to meet some of the guys. Some of them play in like Ohio State. Some of them play Oklahoma. So it was
That
a good
sounds like such a fun
experience.
experience and really rewarding too, showing that all your hard work is like paying off.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
hmm
So you said you wanted to go to Oregon, and you had other universities kind of reaching out to you through your recruitment process. What ultimately led to your decision in Alabama, and how is Alabama culture and just the life of you being there so far?
Okay, so going to Alabama, it was I had to really think about it because I've lived here. I mean, I've moved 4 years, but I've lived here like I feel like all my life. So I was like, I don't know if I want to stay home. But coming to Alabama with being a sports media broadcaster, I feel like it's so much I can do with us being in the SEC. Like I can get because I can't just think about
Right.
cheer. I have to think about my career after cheer. So that's one of the main reasons I came here. And another reason is you get like a lot of like cheer is actually a sport, if that makes sense. Like we're not just playing dress up here, and it's very competitive. Also, like we're pretty good at cheer, so I wanted to compete
Yeah.
where I was going to be the
Wow.
best at.
And are you enjoying your time in
Mhm.
Alabama so far?
Yes.
So what I saw you also taught your first clinic for Alabama, and was it like a full circle moment for you? Like
Uh-huh.
explain how that was.
Yeah. So actually, one of my teammates that I cheered with at Ace was there, and it was so crazy that we used to come to the clinics together. And now I was on the team, and then she's at the clinic, but she's gonna be on the team next year. But it was a lot of fun. It was just like almost like deja vu,
Yeah.
because you don't want to mess up, and like everybody's eyes are on you, but like at the same time, like my eyes were so wide because like
Yeah.
now I'm teaching them.
Wow, that is it's really nice.
Mm,
A really nice full circle moment. Like, dang, like this was me last year. Like now I'm over here. Wow. And then you
yeah,
never know, they may be one of your teammates next year. So that's kind of cool.
yeah.
So you're studying sports media. What led to your journey in wanting to pursue sports media? And yeah, just tell me about your whole journey in that, and then what you're learning so far.
So I honestly didn't know what major I wanted to do, and then I've always like I saw it on NBA. I saw this lady doing broadcasting, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yep, I want to do that." So I want to do NBA or ESPN or College Game Day, anything around that. I just want to be a broadcaster on the field for actually any sport. I would honestly like to do any sport. I would have to learn like sports like golf and stuff, but I could do any sport with that.
I know you're in your core classes, so I guess only so much, but
Yeah.
or different opportunities you have been doing in sports media so far. I mean, besides,
Um, right now I'm like in JCM classes and CIS classes, so I'm learning about all like the writing stuff. I did learn that like you have to be a journalist and then you also are gonna like write your own stuff and then report. So it's not just like I get to
yeah.
somebody writes it and I read it. So I gotta learn to do both. Um a lot of opportunities are good. I'm not in one of these yet, but you can like sign up for WVUA. That's like our local news area. You can sign up for the Crimson White or Crimson Tide. The Crimson White is where like you're going and reporting. The Crimson Tide is
Wow,
where you
wow,
write
that's so cool.
journals. hmm
That's I like that. Do you have a favorite sports broadcaster?
Uh yes, actually I'm pretty sure she's like I don't know her name. This is so bad.
Okay, because
I
I
follow her on
trust
Instagram
me,
though.
I have a really unique path to sports media, and in the beginning I was like,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Like if I see
Yeah,
her, I
yeah.
know
Does
her,
she
but
do like
like
Thursday night football?
she's been doing basketball.
Mm, I might have to see. Malika Andrews, maybe? Did you do NBA today? She's a
I think
host.
so. I
So maybe
think so.
curly hair, light skin, curly.
She
I
does
think it's
have
her,
curly hair.
Malika Andrews, because she sits up there with Shanae and why am I forgetting who's all on that? Kendrick Perkins and all. Anyway, yeah, okay, that's cool though. That's really neat. What do you? And I kind of can relate to that. I really like um just interviewing anybody from any sport. That's kind of like what this is about. Because I graduated and I'm
Mhm.
planning on getting my master's in sports management next year. But while I'm in this season of kind of just waiting and, just enjoying life without having to do any work for a minute, I've been trying to find
Mhm.
ways to still like hone in on my journalism skills. Like I'm writing a little bit, but I don't want my identity to just be like, oh, she writes. Like I also like talking, to people, talking to athletes. I love
Yeah.
that. So I said, let's just start up a podcast. Let's just, get this thing going, talk to people from different sports and different schools. And lately it's been going really well so far. Like, I mean, you responded to me. A lot of people have been responding to me like, yeah, I like to do it. I love to get on there and talk. So it's been really fun. I just find like it's a nice,
Yeah.
happy place for me. So it's really fun.
Mhm.
Do you have a favorite sport?
That I would
Hmm.
like to broadcast for? Football.
Football. I think it used to be mine, and I still love. Don't get me wrong, I love football, but I feel like I think I've been tapping into basketball a little bit more and baseball, which is interesting. And I'm like, why am I
Yeah.
don't know, because it's like SEC schools are such like football schools, but like kind of
Mhm.
like you, I'm really not picky with like which sport. I'm really into all of it because there's so much to learn in every. So that's really neat.
Yeah.
So what's your most memorable or funniest moment you've had in cheer thus far?
Um, one time I was doing a double, and a double is a full but
Mhm.
twice, so you're spinning twice. And I landed weird, and I was fine, but I landed like perfectly fine. Like everyone was cheering, like jumping on me, and I wouldn't move, and I was like my knee hurt, so I just like collapsed to the ground, and I wouldn't get up, wouldn't let the coaches pick me up, and they called the ambulance. I rode in the ambulance car just to have a bruised bone. It like, but I'm
I
telling you,
believe
it
you. I
really
believe
hurt.
you.
And so like, but like a bruised bone is
Yeah.
nothing. But like it felt like I was like, okay, I'm done.
That's
But
it.
like, yeah. So that's probably one of my, and like everyone's recording, like laughing, and like I'm
Not
so
the one.
serious, like because I'm such a silly person. So like, and then like me being serious is
I
like
feel
really
that.
funny.
Wow. No, that's funny because kind of like I'm also not very serious unless I have to be, but I'm very much of a silly like
Mhm.
person. So I feel like when it comes down to something serious, it's like, is she for real? What's going on?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you tell me what a day in your life, well, a day in your life for practice looks like, and then a day in your life for game day looks like?
Yeah, okay. So for practice, I usually let's do a Tuesday. A Tuesday practice for me, I go to 3 classes. So that'll start from 12:30 all the way to 4:45. I have 3 classes. And then right after that at 5:30 I have practice for about 3 hours. On Tuesdays we usually tumble, then we stunt. So it's a
Mhm.
pretty busy practice. Um a day in my life for game days would be I wake up or whatever time it is. So let's say this weekend, the game's at 2. I'm probably going to wake up at like 12. I'm going to do my makeup and then I'm going to walk over.
Wow,
So
that's
it's
so
really
cool.
simple.
That's so, and why do you kind of wish that the freshmen are able to travel, or are you okay with like being at home right now and then having your time when it comes?
I think I would want
Yeah.
to travel, but I'm okay. Like it's fine. I'm not like, "Oh man." I think
Yeah,
I would want
that's
to travel
fair.
though.
What's your favorite team you've played against so far, since being at Alabama?
Team I oh, well, of
Yeah.
course Georgia.
Of course. Of course. I was hoping you'd say that.
That was like the best game and then it was at home,
Mm.
so it was like, wow.
I feel that.
Mhm.
What is your best part, or what do you think is your best part of being a cheerleader, and then also being a cheerleader for Bama specifically?
The best part about being a cheerleader, I love meeting new people, and then I like making people smile and like being happy. So I feel like I can just be silly and like go to practice, and you can meet all types of people. I also do like UCA, and that's like United Cheer Association, and I'm teaching others how to cheer all over like different camps. So I feel like I met a lot of people over the years just cheering and a lot of different connections. Um, cheering at Bama, definitely connections. Like you can say you cheer, but when you say you cheer Alabama, it like everybody's eyes get
Yeah.
big because it's like it's hard to do.
My last question I usually ask everyone is what advice they'll give for athletes. But before we get to that, what advice would you give someone who wants to cheer at Alabama or a big SEC school like one?
I would definitely say don't give up on the dream just because it sounds like it's hard to do, but
Yeah,
you gotta work hard. Like literally, you have to work
right.
hard.
And
There's no
that's
other
fair.
option.
Do you think your transition
Yeah.
from high school to college was a pretty smooth one, or how was your transition?
It was pretty smooth. 1 week, I think I had classes and I had practice and I was just so tired and it was just not a good day. So I think that's like the only time it's actually been like rough.
That's
But other
really
than that, it's
good.
been smooth.
Wow. And what is your favorite memory, or so far? I know the season is still like pretty. We're mid season now. It's kind of like in the middle.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite part or favorite memory with your current team in Alabama?
Right now, let's see. My favorite memory is like when we all hit a stunt together that we've like been working hard for and like just the
Yeah,
joy in everybody's
that is really
faces. It's
nice.
fun.
And
Mhm.
how are y'all with bonding? Like, do y'all have bonding exercises or things y'all do outside of practices and games?
We did in the summer when we had to be here, we did
Okay,
a lot
that's
of
really
team bonding things like movie
okay.
night
That's
and like
really
karaoke.
nice. That's really nice.
Mhm.
And I guess my last question for you is, what is your advice in general for any athlete, but specifically cheer, who is going through starting out cheer and is looking at you like, wow, I want to be in her position. What is your advice for them? I know you said working hard as well, but what is your advice you would give if
Mhm.
they wanted to start cheer and then go through a journey in cheer in college?
Mhm. My advice would be to stay true to who you are and definitely be like, don't try to be like everyone else. Be the 1% that's gonna like overwork somebody. Go the extra mile every time because it'll pay off at the end. Another piece of advice is definitely also work hard. So I guess that
I
goes
love
ties
that.
on to
I
it
love that.
too.
Thank you so much, Toni-Christian. And where can the people
You're
find
welcome.
you on social media?
My Instagram is Toni-Christian Ford, Toni, and then Christian. And then my other Instagram is Tumbling Tony. So tumbling, what's this little thing that goes down?
Like
It's
a
not a dash, but
underscore?
it goes down. Yeah. Tumbling
Nice.
underscore
Thank you so
Tony.
much. Nice talking to you. A rival, but have like a friendly rivalry
You
talk,
too.
and then just also getting the glimpse of
Uh-huh.
your life in cheer. So that's been great. But thank you
Hmm.
so much.
You're
Of
welcome.
course.
Thank you for having me.